arrived at the small rural Russian town by train and waited for her brother, Alexei, to join her. The siblings decided to take the weekend to explore an abandoned estate outside the city. The two enjoyed their yearly expeditions, exploring abandoned Soviet bunkers, trailblazing deserted medieval monasteries, and investigating long-forgotten imperial palaces. Although unusual and frowned upon by their parents, it was their way to reconnect after her brother moved from their hometown to study history at the St. Petersburg State University. Half an hour has passed. Her brother was late as usual. Finally, as she was about to call him, she saw his old blue Lada sedan turn the corner. Alexei got out of the car with a big, enthusiastic smile and opened the door for her. After apologizing for his delay, he revealed the reason for his excitement. This weekend, they were driving to an old, remote village of Voronovo, named after the Voronov family. Alexei was writing his dissertation on royal houses of the Russian Empire. One such was the Voronovs. They were an old dynasty, he explained, that became prominent in the 15th century, when the patriarch, Constantine Voronov, became an ambassador to the famous Hungarian king, Matthias Corvinus. They were once one of the most powerful royal clans in the empire, yet they were feared too. It was said they practiced the dark arts, held ungodly rituals, and even started an occult society. Unconfirmed rumors were that Constantine's daughter had a relationship with none other than Count Vlad of Wallachia, who was on house arrest at the Hungarian court at the time. As Alexei was rambling on about history, Anna was dozing off in the passenger seat. Once sleep finally overtook, she had an unusually vivid dream. She saw a woman, beautiful, pale, cheerful with life. The woman was dancing the waltz in a large room with a well-dressed, handsome partner. Other sharply dressed couples were dancing all around them. Waiters walked around with champagne and appetizers. Then, out of nowhere, everything went dark. The music stopped. The lights and candles that illuminated the ballroom were snuffed out. Anna looked into a giant mirror on the wall. It was freezing cold, and she could see the steam of her breath. As she looked closer, she started making out a shape. She saw the face of the woman appear behind her out of the darkness. Cheer and kindness was gone now. Instead, vicious, cold green eyes stared at her through the mirror. Deathly pale hands reached for Anna through the reflection, and then the mirror shattered. Anna woke up to Alexei telling her they arrived. The Voronov village looked unsettling. Old, dilapidated wooden houses with boarded windows, unkept yards, crows cawing in the background. The place was empty except for an old lady sitting on a bench in front of a decrepit abode. Anna got out of the car and approached the woman to ask for directions. But as she made eye contact, the old crone began muttering and making the sign of the cross over and over again. Alexei pulled out a map and pointed in the direction where barely visible, overgrown dirt road led into a forest. There was no time to waste if they wanted to be back to the car by sunset. Anna, skeptical and unsettled by the eerie village, asked Alexei if he was sure they should go on, but her brother was determined to continue. He reassured her that everything was perfectly safe and that he had food, water, flashlights, and even their father's old revolver in case they may need to ward off wild animals. Reluctantly, Anna followed him as they made their way into the forest. The road to the Voronov estate was long, and Anna suspected Alexei may have miscalculated the distance on his map. The day has turned gloomy as clouds formed over the horizon. Finally, Anna and Alexei saw the estate in the distance. Walking down the path, they approached a gate, rusted and covered with vines. On the front of the gate was a family coat of arms. A large black raven with bright emerald eyes standing atop a coiled golden serpent. Beyond the gate was an unkept garden with a decorative fountain in the middle. Past the garden were long stairs leading towards the old manor. As Anna followed Alexei towards the door, she felt a strange disquiet. Ever since a little girl, she enjoyed a rush of adrenaline. She loved mountain biking, skydiving, watching horror movies. She always wanted to push herself, to get out of her comfort zone. Taking risks excited her and was part of her life. Yet here she felt nothing but foreboding dread. Alexei seemed unsure as well now. But as he looked at her and smiled nervously, he opened the front door and the two entered the manor. Inside, the estate looked bleak. It was clear no one has been here for years, maybe decades. Weak rays of light shone throughout the rooms, giving little illumination, and the two resorted to their flashlights as they went about exploring the vast estate. After some time, Alexei found what he was looking for. In the desk drawer in one of the bedrooms was an old journal. As he dusted it off and began flipping through the pages, however, confusion came over him. The dates did not make any sense. The journal was started in the year 1465 and ended in 1852. Perhaps it was a memoir written by multiple people, he pondered. But the handwriting seemed the same throughout, and the signature was that of Sofia Voronova, the daughter of Constantine. Both died in the 15th century according to records. Alexei put the journal in his backpack and decided to review it further at the university. While he was busy upstairs, Anna made her way down and found large double doors. Hesitantly, she went through. What she saw sent shivers down her spine. It was a massive ballroom, like the one from her dream earlier. The paintings, the windows, everything was exactly the same as she remembered it. Most unsettling was the giant mirror built into the wall. Awestruck, she came up and examined it. She looked into it, seeing her own reflection. Then she touched it. To her shock, the mirror began to crack. She barely had enough time to jump away as the glass shattered onto the floor. Before her stood a secret entrance where the mirror broke. Anna felt her heart beating faster with each moment. She noticed that she had a cut on her hand from where the glass must have grazed her. But she couldn't go back now. Curiosity beat out the ominous feeling, and she went through down a dark stairwell leading into the catacombs below. She entered the first room. It was a death shrine. Looking around with her flashlight, she saw a portrait hanging on the wall. Unmistakably, it was that of the woman Anna saw in her dream. Below it, in the middle of the chamber, was a coffin decorated with expensive jewelry and artwork. An inscription was etched on the stone. Anna bent down to read it, and as she did, a small drop of her blood fell onto the tomb. And it stirred. Anna jumped back with a scream as the casket flung open with surprising force. A woman, beautiful, feminine, snow-white in complexion, mesmerizing and terrifying all at once, slowly emerged and strolled towards her with unmistakable recognition in her bright green eyes. Anna was frozen in horror and amazement as the woman came close, as she gently caressed her face, as she bit at her neck with an excruciating kiss. A moment later, her brother, standing in the entrance of the room with their father's old revolver out, looked on at the ghastly scene. Interrupted, the woman's face turned beastly, sharp fangs protruding from an otherwise perfect mouth. Then Anna heard gunshots. She snapped out of her trance as her ears rang from the noise. She felt her brother's arm around her, and the next thing she knew, they were running up the stairs towards the exit. As they made their way outside, running past the garden towards the gate, they saw the woman again. She was standing before them, blocking their way out. Small speckles of blood glimmered in the moonlight on her now ruined dress where the bullets hit their mark. Alexei aimed the revolver again and pulled the trigger, but heard a disheartening click. The gun was empty. As he hesitated, the woman closed in on them unnaturally fast. Smoke and shadows filled his vision, and then abyss. We hope you enjoyed this short story from the Nocturnal Courts library collection. If you want to dive further into the world that mirrors our own, a realm of mystery, secrets, and supernatural horror, subscribe.